All right, so this ANet task will show you how to create and block user accounts. So the goal of this task is to first create teacher and school leader accounts, block any teacher or school leader that is no longer at your school, and then number 3, inform new account holders that they must not use Clever to log into ANet. They will use either myanet.org or my.achievementnetwork.org. So let's go now, and I am in a school. So I'm at Park Forest Middle School. And notice at the top right, you're going to see your name. So my name is shown here. And what you want to do to create and block user accounts is go to, at the bottom where it says School Administration, you're going to go to Manage Users. So when you go to Manage Users, when you click on that, you're going to get the list of users. So at the top left right here, it says Enable Users, Block Users. So if at any point you accidentally blocked a user that should not have been blocked, you can go here, click on Block Users, and so there's some blocked users already, and so then you go right here and you enable. So if at any point you accidentally block a user that should not be blocked, just go to Block Users and then enable. So I'm going to go back to Enabled Users. So these are all the users at your school that have access to ANet. Now notice that some of these users have not logged in at this point, but you'll see where the last login was. So you'll have the name, the role, whether it's a teacher, school leader, and that's the only account you can create is a teacher account or school leader account. The last login, the email address, always make sure the email address is correct, and then you can edit and then block. So let's talk about editing for right now. So let's say I need to edit this first person that's listed here. So you go to Edit, click on Edit, and in terms of editing, you can edit the first name, the last name, and whether the authority should be teacher or school leader. I'm going to leave it back as teacher. At any point, though, if you make any changes, you're going to have to submit. Now, if for some reason the email address is incorrect, see right here, the email address is incorrect, you're going to have to create a new account and then go back and then block this user with that email address. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead back to Enabled Users. And let's say you have new teachers, which you will, that need accounts. And so you're going to go to Create New User right here. So click on Create New User. Again, make sure you're using an active EBR email address. So an active EBR email address, and make sure that the email address is correct. You're going to need the person's first name, the last name, and then determine whether it's a teacher access or school leader access. For school leader access, make sure you get approval from your principal before giving anyone school leader access. And then once you complete all of this, then you're going to click the green button and submit. All right. So that is how you're going to create a teacher or a school leader account. Now notice on the top right here, it will tell you the descriptions of the user authority. So it will tell you what a teacher can do and then what a school leader can do. So a teacher can view data for entire school, not just their students, but the entire school. Teacher does not have access to the assessment materials. Teacher does not receive email when data meeting reports are posted. Teacher cannot manage users, and a teacher cannot make student changes on the student tab. A school leader can view data for the entire school as well, does receive email notifications when data meeting reports are posted, can manage users, does have access to assessment materials and receives email notifications when materials are posted and can make student changes on the Student tab. All right, so that is how you're going to create a single user. Now I'm going to go back to enabled users. And so one of the other things you want to do is for any teacher that is no longer at your school or school leader that is no longer at your school, you want to block that person. So blocking that person only prevents that person from having access to the data at your school. It does not prevent that person from accessing data at their new school, only at your school. So just make sure that if any person is no longer at your school, you just click on block. So I'm going to go ahead and for our purpose, just go ahead and block Frank Sparks. I'm going to go ahead and block him. So notice it says right when I hover over it, it says click here to freeze a user's account so that the user is no longer able to log into my ANet and view any of the data or resources. You will be able to re-enable this account if necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and block Frank Sparks, and notice that Frank is no longer listed. Now, that was a mistake, right? So I'm going to go ahead to block users, and he is not showing up. So let's see. Let me go back to enabled users. All right, so he's not there. So I'm going to go back to block users. Let's see, it says, please allow up to 5 minutes for changes to be reflected throughout my net. So that's probably what happened. So it takes about 5 minutes, it says. So in about 5 minutes, I have to come back to block users and then find Frank Sparks and then enable Frank Sparks. Okay? All right. Now, the next thing, let's see. So we talked about creating teacher and school leader accounts, blocking any teacher or school leader that is no longer at your school. And then the next thing you need to do, once you create an account, you want to inform the individual that they must not use Clever to log into ANet. They have to use either myanet.org or myachievementnetwork.org. So whenever you create an account, they should receive an email indicating that an account was created. And I'm going to go log out here just to show you what they're going to have to do. So I'm going to log out, and so I'm going to sign back in. And so they should receive an email with the link to set their password, but if they don't find it, all they have to do is go to myanet.org or myachievementnetwork.org and click on set password. So when they click on set password, it's going to indicate that they put their email address here, remember a valid EBR email address, and then click on set password. And then they're going to send a link to their email address. And then once they log back in, then they would put their email address, their password, and then log in. Now, if that doesn't work, tell them to use the Google sign-in. So that's a single sign-on. So once you click on sign in with Google, and I'm going to click on it, but it's going to bring me directly to the ANet courses or the ANet schools I have. But when they click on Google sign in, it's going to automatically send them to the page where they have to sign in with Google. So they have to use their EBR credentials. So when I do it, notice because I'm already signed into Google, so it brings me straight to the schools that I have access to. All right, so that is the ANet task on creating and blocking users. If you have any questions, make sure you contact me or anyone in accountability. Have a great day.